Hello? Oh my god, is this thing working? Dude, I'm like I'm like questioning my life. Genuinely questioning my life, by the way. Hey guys. You know the funniest part is I should be arriving at San Diego right now. Like we should be in the landing process as of right now. That is so funny. That is so funny. That is so funny. That is no, I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Dude. um holy shit. For context, I may or may have not lost my flight to San Diego. But it doesn't even end there. It's not even that. It's not even that. So, you know, instead of being sad and in bed, I'm gonna like at least stream. You know what I mean? And I feel like I need to tell this story to someone because this is a time in life where I sit down and I like think my life. And I'm just like, at what point being cursed is a joke? Okay, lower the music. Yeah, there you go. I was like, dude, at what point do we consider this a bit anymore, or should I actually consider to search for professional help? Like, I have never seen such like a butterfly effect of unluck for a trip. And I usually get some shitty luck for trips, but I feel like this has like surpassed every single thing ever. Genuinely surpassed. I I'm like on a roll. So can I get you a ticket? No, I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad. Um, I feel like these are the consequences of my own actions to some extent, so I gotta like just sit through it. No, dude, genuinely, I cannot explain how bad my luck is. I feel like I'm genuinely just keep rolling ones. Um, what was I gonna say? Chat. Okay, hear me out. Here's the thing. Dude, I'm gonna explain what happened. So, I arrived 4 minutes late before the counter closed, sending all bags. And I could have technically boarded the flight, but I would have to leave all my bags behind. Which honestly, I should have just left the bags behind. And I should have figured out something. I don't even know, bro. This is what I get for not flying. This is what I get for flying with big ass bags, by the way. So, I'm gonna give you guys like a little bit of context. Hello. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of context for the timeline. So, things started going wrong ever since the cat fucking bit me, bro. Because there's a lot of shit that you guys don't even know. Ever since the cat fucking bit me that day in the morning, everything's been going like downhill. Like, it's really funny. So the cat fucking bit me, and then I was like, oh, I've been bitten by a cat before, and the same cat bit me the other day. It sure was fine. It was not fine. It was generally not fine. I've been barely able to walk. I cannot be standing that much because then my foot will get really like swollen. It's not like in pain unless I'm walking around, and after like 2 or 3 hours of the bite, I was like, okay, this is maybe like getting a little bit serious. It's hurting a little bit. Maybe I should go to the doctor. So, instead of going to private medical service like I usually do because I like more private services, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of broke. I don't have money. I'm going to go to the public free healthcare option. Turns out, when you turn 25 and you're not studying or have a job, you don't really get part of the free healthcare. That's when they start charging you a subscription per month. And I didn't have that because I just recently turned 25. Which, like, just starting from that, that's some, like, crazy coincidences, by the way. So, I was, like, basically in emergencies in the air or whatever. Because my foot was really swollen. It hurted a lot. And I wait for hours and hours. And then I get in the fucking doctor. She doesn't even look at me. She doesn't even inspect my wound. She doesn't even clean the wound. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't, like, send me anything for the pain. No injection, no anything. All they tell me is like, oh, by the way, just heads up, you have to pay. And I was like, okay, I don't think that'll be that crazy of payment, right? And then, like, that whole thing happens, yada yada yada. I get in, dude. She doesn't even look at my foot. She doesn't even look at my injury. She doesn't even, like, ask for any details or, like, inspects it or anything. And she just goes, yeah, I'll just send you some antibiotics. I was there for, like, 2 minutes max. Less than 2 minutes, probably. And I was out of the fucking doctor's office. And I was like, okay, surely this will be fine. And then I have to, like, by the way, I don't know if this is fucking crazy. I've never been to like a hospital or like a clinic, stuff like that, for something like this. But it's like, if you have a person that is limping very bad, that is complaining about walking, why will you make them walk all over the place? Because you're like, oh yeah, go to this office and then come back here and then go to the office again and then go to pharmacy. At this point, I was like, are we joking right now? Are we genuinely joking, bro? So Chad. After like a while, apparently they couldn't make the fucking receipt because the system was down. I didn't even know how much I was gonna get charged. They didn't even tell me the price or anything, whatever. And then the lady was like, "Well, I'm gonna go home. My shift's done. I'll do the receipt and you can come pay tomorrow." I was like, "All right." Turns out the receipt was $100. $100 whole. And you know how much it was to pay the monthly subscription? 60. And if I paid the monthly subscription, I would have not gotten charged for $100 whole. And that's lucky. And then, I've been like resting. Like ever since the cat bit me, I've been like unable. I've been like mostly like sitting down or like in bed or stuff like that. I had to end the donathon and I just decided to take the entire day to be in bed. Because in my mind, I was like, if I stand still, if I don't do anything, if I don't overwork my foot, then it's going to be more here for TwitchCon, right? That makes sense. 1 + 1 is 2. My brother in Christ. My brother in Christ. So, there I was last night. I started trying to pack my stuff because, it hurted a lot. So, it was just me. Big old me. It was big old me trying to like get all my clothes, clean everything, pack everything, get ready for everything. I have to wash everything. I have to like dry everything and I'm here like, dude, here's the thing. I feel like I usually get because I've packed for so many trips already. I always get my stuff packed in time. I did not take into consideration how slow packing would be when you have an injury that barely allows you to walk without feeling insane amounts of pain. And after a while, I was just going up and down my house, like sorting out the clothes that I was gonna take, getting all the stuff that I was gonna take, searching for like things, yada yada yada. I look at my foot. It's red and swollen. So I made the silly mistake in my mind. I made the silly mistake. and I was like, I'm gonna go rest. Like my clothes are drying right now. I'm gonna go sleep for like an hour or two, like an hour and a half or two. I don't even know for how long I slept. Barely slept. I'm gonna put my feet up in the air, and I'm gonna wait for it to get not get swollen, because that's what I've been doing. When my feet seems overworked, I just sit down and I just take a break. I wake up at like fucking 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and I start getting ready, and I have to iron all my clothes, and then I have to like start packing and yada 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 yada. It was like 8 in the morning, and I was like rushing, cause um I was like fucking like running, dude. I was like fucking running around the house. It took me so long to properly like I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be in a plane for 10 fucking hours, I gotta make sure that the one's like properly like. It just took me so long. It just took me so long to get ready. It took me so long of everything because I was moving like a fucking turtle, bro. I was genuinely moving like a fucking turtle. And then I was like stressing out in the car. I was like fucking stressing out in the car. And I was just basically, my mom, oh my god, it was my mom. My mom was just so like, she was so chill about it. And I was like, bro, we're not gonna arrive. Bro, we're not gonna arrive. Bro, we're not gonna arrive. Um, I order food and my food's here. Dude. And like, we're running through the oh my god, we have to fucking buy gas because the car didn't have gas, bro. We even had to stop for gas. Dude, and I'm like, and then I ran into the thing. I tried to like, do the self check-in. It didn't let me do self checking. I go to the fucking counter. This is crazy, by the way. Crazy. Oh, hey, blah, blah, I have this flight, blah, blah, blah. It's not letting me do the thing. I have this to check bags. Oh, yeah, no. They, hold on. I think the Uber's calling me. Hold on. Let me get my food, dude.
Give Billy a break 2025.
Hello? Aw, thank you, Louis. um, yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know where I was, but yeah, dude, I was basically at the airport, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, I haven't ordered your food. I tried to I tried to arrive as early as possible, and yeah, and they were like calling people, and they were like doing like phone calls, and they're like, yeah, no, um, here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. The flight was earlier. I know that these things happen, but what are the odds that the only day? Because usually, I've had so many like flights delayed, and they're like, no, yeah, they changed times to an earlier time instead of the original time because the flight was early. What are the odds? Let me pick up my food. Yeah, no, 100%. I think 100%. Dude, no, like, I mean, some things that happens that flights will get like. That's why you need to be early at the airport because like flights sometimes can get like rescheduled early or like delayed or whatever. So it's always recommended to be like 2 hours before your flight. But like, I was just like, dude, that is so unlucky. And they're like doing calls and they're like, yeah, no, sorry, we close at this hour. We cannot send any more bags. And I was like, okay. And they're like, let's search. Let's search what's the next flight. And I was like, okay. Because there was still like, by the way, there was still like an hour until the flight. Like, um, the boarding closed in like 45 minutes or something. The boarding for the plane. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I can still board this flight. And I was like, okay, um, when's the next flight? And they're like, oh, it's on Friday. And I was like, oh, okay, so you can just send my bags on Friday and I can board this flight. No, we don't do that. You have to like send. You have to be here to send your bags. Um, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, okay, okay, yay. Um, and the airline that I was flying with, if I booked with a different airline, I would have had a probably like, dude, this is just so unlucky after unlucky because there's flights. There were like flights. I'll continue. I'll continue to tell the story. And they're like, yeah, sadly we don't have flights to San Diego tomorrow, and their next flight to San Diego is on Friday. Same hour. You'll be arriving at the same hour. And I was like, bro, same hour basically means that's literally at the end of like TwitchCon day one. Like I'll be fully missing TwitchCon day one. And I was like, dude, is there any like crazy flight that has like some sort of like crazy like layovers or something? And they're like, next flight's on Friday. At least they didn't like charge me for the change, which is nice. So they just rescheduled me to that one flight. And I was just like, okay. And then I got the idea like, oh, I'm already at the airport. maybe I'm gonna like see if any other airlines has a flight to San Diego. And then there's this Jesus Christ. I see this flight that leaves in like 3 hours, right? It was like I was there at like 9. I was like there at like 9 a.m. And this flight left at 1 p.m. and it arrived at like 10 at San Diego. And I was like, "Oh, still the same day." You know, I'll just spend $300. I'll buy this flight. I'll get there tonight and it'll be all right. You know, I sometimes I think that time with friends is more valuable than money, and money will always come back. So, you know, I was like, yeah. It's whatever. So then I sit down and I try to book the flight from my mobile phone. I put all my information, I try and pay, I put my card, and then tragedy hits, bro. Tragedy hits. Dude. I get a notification from my bank. You paid $300 to this airline. But then in a page, it was like loading, and it said, something went wrong. Try again. And like, I'm like, bro. I check my email. I'm like refreshing my email. Surely I get like a confirmation email. Surely I get like something. Because the payment went through. I got my money discounted from my account. Nothing. In that moment, I was like waiting in the parking lot. Because God bless my mom. She was taking me. So she was just waiting. She was in a store and I was there. And I just called my mom. It's like, we need to get to the airport now. So then I like we run to the airport that was like right there. We run to the airport and I go to the counter and they're like, oh my God, this thing happened. They search for my name. They search for my everything. They searched my passport. There was no information. There was no anything. There was no anything, and I just showed them like, yo, the money was taken from my account, blah blah blah, and they were like, no, yeah, you don't show up, your passport doesn't show up, your name doesn't show up, you're not in this. We look through this flight, you're not in this flight. And I'm like, well, this is where things get complicated because as you know, as time progresses, we're trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. You know, we're trying to figure out what the fuck's happening, and I'm like getting stressed out. I'm like fully on getting stressed out. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Like at this point, I'm like genuinely questioning what the fuck's going on. How can I be so what are the odds of everything that happened recently happening? And like I try and message my bank, and I'm messaging my bank, my bank's not replying to me. They basically told me, call customer service, and then I'm calling customer service, and I'm like, hey, the situation happened, blah blah blah, and like, okay, call your bank, and your bank, there should be like a ticket number, blah 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 blah. Time's up. Basically, it was an hour before the flight, so they couldn't check me in again. Meanwhile, I was trying to sort out everything. I couldn't sort it out. And I basically also lost that flight, quote, quote. What are the odds of this thing happening, by the way? And here's the thing. That money was taken from my bank account. And then I contacted my bank later, and I was like, yo, the airlines, I called the airlines, like, how do I ask for a refund of this money? And they're like, hey, if we don't have a reservation number, if you don't have anything, we cannot even do a refund. Like, what's there to be a refund if there's no, like, anything purchased? And at that moment, I'm like, I just lost my money. At that moment, I like, there's no fucking way I just lost my fucking money, bro. Because I was like, dude, the guy on the phone was just like, hey, he was just trying to explain to me how, like, when you buy something from every airline, there's always, like, the like the reservation or the flight number on the reservation or like something. In my bank there was like nothing showing up. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. I genuinely don't even know. I was like, what the fuck? And then my bank was like, no, yeah, this is all the information that we have about this like thing, yada yada yada. And they were basically like, yeah, sorry, we cannot, like, why is there to do with, like, there's nothing to refund if you don't have it. If you cannot find the confirmation order, if you cannot find the ticket number, there's nothing to be refunded. And then I call my, well, not call, I message my bank, and basically what my bank basically tells me is, hey, the system processed correctly the thing, but if the airline didn't get the money, I don't know. It's basically like the money just kind of floating. It means that it was like hold temporarily or something like that. But it hasn't been like properly processed by the airline. And they're like, "Oh, okay, how do I get my money back?" Basically, they just said since the business hasn't like confirmed the money, it's kind of like pending. We cannot give you a devolution or do like a thing to get your money back until the business kind of like knows how to process it. And it was like, okay, how much time do I have to wait for that? And they're like, oh yeah, after 31 days, you can like ask for the return your money to your account. 31 days? We're talking about $300, man. I'm genuinely just like, what the actual fuck, dude? Like, I don't know what it is, but life definitely did not want me to flight today. Like, what are the odds of me, like, losing my flight by, like, 3, 4, 5 minutes? Then me trying to, like, book with another airline? And said airline doing this shit to me. And I was like 2 hour and 30 minutes before the flight. Like, I had plenty of time. I was like, okay, this is whatever. I'll just spend more money and I'll arrive later tonight. No one could help me. My bank is just basically like, yeah, your thing is probably just like kind of floating over there. We'll have to like wait until see what the business kind of does with it. And you have to wait 31 days. 31 days, bro. There was another flight, but the other flight was looking like $400. And I feel like I appreciate my friends and I love my friends. I'm not paying $400 for a single flight. Generally, chat, I don't understand. Are you a horse? I don't know. I feel like it would be cool to be a horse. I genuinely don't understand. Firulais, don't. Are you pissing? Oh my god, my cat's pissing. Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, what the hell? What the hell? My cat just pissed in my room. My brother in Christ, you just got in. Like, what? Like, what? Bro, you just got in. You genuinely just got in. He just got into piss in my room. Dude, what is going on today? Don't meow at me. Oh, my room smells like piss. My room smells like cat piss. What the hell? Vai para allá. Vai para allá. Sale. Se gato durmió en mi cuarto. Entró Ignacio. Yo lo intenté sacar. Dude, I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know what was it that I did. Dude, what is this? Bro! I didn't even play this fucking song! I just sat down and this song started playing! What genuinely, what is life trying to tell me? Genuinely, I don't understand! I don't understand! Genuinely, I don't understand! Dude, like I said, I was like so stressed. I was like so angry. I was like so stressed. Like genuinely, what are the odds, man? Like, a flight tomorrow. Oh my god. There's technically a flight tomorrow that leaves really early in the morning, and I'll be arriving like 2 p.m. tomorrow at San Diego. That flight's like $400, and I think it went up in price. I think it went up to $500. And then there's flights for tomorrow, and I'll be arriving at night. Um, I'll be arriving at like nighttime. San Diego. But yeah. Technically, I could just wait for Friday and then I you know. My foot's doing better. Oh no, that's the worst part. Since I was like on the airport, just going up and down and up and down and up and down. Um Dude, I should have taken this flight. What? This one was really cheap. Hello? Well, it's not cheap. My foot was like really like sore when I got home. Is actually really, really bad. Like actually really, 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 really bad. Really, really bad. Cause I was just basically like standing the entire time sorting out everything. So yeah. I'm looking at flights right now, but like they're cooked. I think it's best. Yeah, no. Situation's definitely cooked in some sort of way. Um, this just like the only flight that arrives kind of like in the afternoon
Good
tomorrow.
luck, bro. You are cooked. Love you a lot
Thank
though,
you.
Billy, in the most non-parasocial way. You're the
Aww.
coolest cat on the block. Hope her foot gets better.
Thank you, Star. Yeah, I like my mom. I'm not really like a believer in like things, but like my mom's low-key been saying like things happen for a reason. Maybe something really bad was gonna happen if I flew today, because generally the entire destiny was just the entire world was just basically telling me to not fly today. You know what? It's not even that. Like, oh my god. By the way, if I booked a flight with the airline that was like a little bit earlier, like I think there was like another flight from that same airline that was a little bit longer in time and it left earlier, I would have missed the first flight and I would be able to catch the second flight. Do you know what I mean? Church concerts on Friday. Either way, I'll still see my friends. But it's just really sad. I'm drinking an Oreo shake. Were you speaking at any panels? No, I'm not that famous, bro. Thankfully, I don't have any schedule, like, panels or, like, things like that. Usually, I feel like it's just a flight from Costa Rica. There's so many, like, there's so limited flights. It's not like a big airport. It's not like a big thing. It's just... But yeah, I'll be arriving on Friday in the afternoon. This way I don't have to, like, waste any more money. And I'm trying to be positive about it. Like, at least I can, like, rest my foot properly for a whole 2 days. Sorry, I was talking with my mom. But I'm just like sad because I'm gonna miss like. Technically, I am already missing out because I should have already been landed in San Diego. So, I'm missing out on like whatever happens tonight and the entirety of tomorrow, and the entirety of the first day of the con. You know, I used to have Saturday and Sunday. And Monday. Yeah. Technically, I'll only be seeing my friends on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I think. Yeah. Dude, I'm 100% convinced that if this cat didn't bite me, I would have never missed my flight. I would have been ready in time. I would have, like... You know what I mean? Wait, there's a new Wait! Oh. Wait! Some good news. Not the news that you guys think, though. Give me 1 second. Guys! Minecraft, but I PvP in Parkour Civilization. Okay, we're watching. Level, please don't copyright strike me. Thanks. Huh. Minitech? Wait, you guys cannot hear it. Hold on. Hold on. Huh. Ish! What? 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 We were getting spoiled. Wait, you cannot hear it. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just do this. Let me just do this instead.
Parkour check. Open up. It's time for your mandatory parkour check.
Oh, thank you. A mandatory PvP check. I've never been this excited to pay a PvP attack, but I mean, at least this confirms that we're not stuck in an alternate dimension. Wait, did you just say parkour?
You can either do the 1-block jump for the raw chicken, or you can attempt the 1-block vertical jump for the beef.
Ish.
Also, it's not mandatory, just a joke us parkour pros like to say.
Why would I parkour for food?
The likelihood of us being in an alternate universe has now increased to 97%.
Okay, 97% is not great. How do I even say this? Let's pretend I'm new here. Where are we?
First day as a parkour noob, I take it. Well then, welcome to Parkour Civilization.
Okay, I am in the wrong universe. Alright, this is terrible, but I can fix this. If I'm gonna get back to PvP Civilization, I'm gonna need a clear head. Alright, Minitech, it's time.
You stated that this would only be for emergencies.
Bro, we're stuck in Parkour Civilization. Obviously, this is an emergency. I don't know if Parkour Civilization has video journal machines, but if they don't, well, now they have one, along with the best journalist of all time. All right, first video journal update in Parkour Civilization. My name's Evbo, and I'm not from this universe. I am a diamond sword from PvP Civilization, a world where your entire lifespan is determined by the durability of the weapon you hold. And without going into detail, my existence saves the lives of the entire world. Don't get me wrong, I would love to go into detail, but I mean, chapter 1 is probably, I don't know, 3 hours? Another couple for the second chapter? It would take a while. Anyways, let's go back to how I even ended up in Parkour Civilization. I was doing my daily routine of dying, that sounds worse than it is, when I saw someone in the distance that I've never seen before. I tried to get close to them to see what kind of weapon they were holding, but just as I was about to see them, I just disappeared. In a matter of seconds,
Whoa.
reality just glitched in front of my eyes, and before I knew it, I was standing on a grid of grass blocks with nothing but void below me, and behind me stood the tallest structure I have ever seen in my entire life. How and why I ended up in Parkour Civilization is still an unknown, but I knew I needed to find a way back as fast as I could because the lives of my family depended on me. The problem with trying to find a way out of Parkour Civilization as quickly as possible is the fact that I could die at any given moment. One missed parkour jump and I'm falling to my death. Like, how can anyone even live under these conditions? No, seriously though, I was baffled that there was an entire neighborhood in Parkour Civilization. It didn't seem likely that people would live long enough to even enjoy the luxury of having a house here, but anyways, that curiosity is what brought me over here, and that's when I found my friend Minitech. Turns out, I wasn't the only one from PvP Civilization here. Anyways, long video journal today, but now we're fully caught up, and we can start making a plan on how to get out of here. So, apparently, I'm a parkour noob. Not really sure if I agree with that, but looks like the guy with the iron boots is a parkour pro. I think I can put 2 and 2 together and say that we're at the lowest level of society, and the only way to survive is to get food given to us by the parkour pros. Why we have to parkour for it, I don't know, but I'm gonna jump for it, because we need food if we're gonna survive this journey. So, it looks like it's time to parkour. Alright, good update. Signing off.
This cannot be a wise course of action. You don't know if your respawn power still applies here.
Look, we're
Whoa.
gonna have to parkour one way or another, so we might as well just take the leap now. And in the event that I fail and fall into the void, maybe my respawn power will work and I'll wake up back in PvP Civilization. Right, I forgot to mention that in the video journal, I'm kind of immortal in a sense, and I can respawn after dying over and over again. But like Minitech said, I don't really know if that power applies here, which means I'm gonna have to make every single jump count, which is why I'm going for the beef. Look, as someone who's experienced in PvP, parkour was a part of my training. A 1-block vertical jump is no problem for a diamond sword. This is when I found out the hard way that in Parkour Civilization, no one chooses to jump for the beef. I thought my life was over after missing that jump, but to my surprise, my feet were still touching the ground. Somehow, I respawned in the structure at the center of
Whoa.
Parkour Civilization. Huh, looks like my respawn power works in this universe as well. Unfortunately, I lost the beef that I kinda just died for, but I respawned with something I didn't have before. Leather boots. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the first moment I truly became a noob in Parkour Civilization. I was about to head over back to the house, but all of a sudden, someone just spawned right inside of me. Yo, what was that about? No! Within a few seconds, I witnessed my first death in Parkour Civilization. I was terrified until I witnessed my first revival in Parkour Civilization. Okay, what is going on? Bro, what? Every time this player fell into the void, he just respawned back on the same platform. I'm not even joking. I watched this guy die like 15 times, and every single time he came back, which led me to come up with 2 different theories. One, whoever this player was had the power of immortality, just like I did. Except I ruled that one out pretty quickly when I, how do I put this nicely? Saw how terrible he was at parkour. The second theory, though, is what helped me convince Minitech to jump for the beef. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't think death exists in Parkour Civilization. I think you just respawn every time you fall. Was it irresponsible to gamble with my friend's life? Yeah, probably, considering he failed the jump. But at the end of the day, I was right, and Minitech respawned with
Imagine
leather
if he
boots.
killed Minute.
Honestly, maybe Parkour Civilization isn't as bad as I thought. Thankfully, the parkour pro was still nice enough to let me jump for the chicken even after 2 of us failed the beef jump. Luckily, I didn't fail this parkour jump, and I had successfully acquired my first piece of food in Parkour Civilization. Alright, we are back with a video journal update. Minitech and I are now officially parkour noobs in Parkour Civilization. Now that we discovered that falling into the void doesn't result in death, I think we're a lot more optimistic. Definitely a lot less stressful, especially after seeing our neighbor plunge into the void. I guess that's the whole thing of Parkour Civilization. You get the chance to try again. Anyways, that's all we know about this place. Let's get into what we don't know. The parkour pros, who are evidently better at parkour, seem to play some sort of important role in society. So maybe those are the people that know why we're stuck in Parkour Civilization. Of course, we're gonna have to become parkour pros to figure that out, and I think I have a good idea of how we get there. The Temple of Parkour, which is a giant temple with parkour, seems to be the only thing that connects the two layers of society. So the next step in our plan is to go there and try to rank up to become parkour pros. Alright, now for the part in the video journal where I just fire off random questions. Do people have PvP weapons here? No one seems to question that we're holding diamond swords. Do they even know the concept of PvP? If that's the case, how do they even buy anything if they don't have armor stands? I mean, if I was gonna buy a house, which obviously I'm going to, wait, Minitech, we're in your house. How did you buy this? Am I upset that Minitech didn't tell me how to buy a house? Maybe a little, but it makes sense. Traditionally, I have an issue with wasting all of my sword durability on shopping. No, wait, Foray?
No way!
You're here too? I'm starting to think all of PvP Civilization is here. This is Foray, and he's part of my family in PvP Civilization. Hey, why are you just staring at this hole?
I paid this guy for a house and he just disappeared.
He just disappeared? That doesn't make sense. Well, how much did you pay for it? It says here a house costs 2-block jump. What does that even mean?
Bro, what is wrong with you? Do you know how long I worked to become a parkour pro? How did you even deal damage to me anyways? What parkour jump did you use?
Oh, I think I know what's going on here. So this one says 2.5 ladder jump for a large house. Okay, yeah, I get it. I see why you didn't get the house. You just didn't hit him far enough. Hey, could you stand right there real quick? Thank you. All right, I'm getting the parkour mansion. Just gotta hit him onto the ladder. Never mind. So, does this guy get paid to, like, come back and keep doing this? So the parkour house was not acquired, but now we have Foray with us. Hey, Foray, you haven't, missed a parkour jump yet, have you?
Parkour was a part of our training. Why would I fall?
All right, well, it's good to get some experience. Sorry.
Really? You think this is funny? You think risking my life is a joke?
Look, I was like 99% sure you were gonna respawn.
Why
Plus,
is
now
bro
you
so
have leather
serious?
boots, which I'm
Why
pretty
is
sure
bro
you
so
need if we're
serious?
gonna
Chill
become
out.
parkour pros. Just try to relax. We're in a universe where nothing bad can happen to us. Now, if more
For
people
real,
from PvP Civilization
though.
start showing up here, that would probably
Oh.
not be good. But for whatever reason, I
Prince
think it's just
Sam?
us 3 diamond swords here stuck in parkour civilization.
As far as I can tell, only 3 of the diamond swords made it here. We should get rid of them now while we have the chance, given we share the same interests.
You want to get rid of Ebbo to rule over all the PvP civilization. I don't trust Ebbo to be the one we all depend on for longer
Damn,
lives.
she greedy.
There's a difference.
Sounds like you have it out for Evbo more than I do.
I don't like the idea of the power going to his head, with the whole world bowing down to him. That doesn't mean I want him dead. If you haven't noticed, we're stuck here too. And knowing Ebbo, he'll make sure he finds a way back. No point of fighting him if he can show us the way back home. Also, we don't even know what happens when we die here.
Let's find out, shall we?
Open up. It's time for parkour. You can either do the 1-block jump for the raw chicken or the 1-block vertical jump for the beef. Honestly, I would make the beef jump easier for you if you want. I know parkour noobs have it tough.
No respawn from a PvP death. Now that's interesting. Maybe PvP Civilization can wait. I think I'll conquer this one instead.
Evil
Well, we are
Prince
3
Sam?
parkour noobs now. I'm not sure if I should be
my
concerned
God,
that
the
more and more people are
guys.
showing up from PvP Civilization, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't hoping for my best friend Tabby and all the other diamond swords to show up too. I know that's a little selfish considering we might be stuck here forever, but I'm convinced we're gonna find a way back, so let me update the video journal on what we know. To become a parkour pro, you need to make this giant parkour course inside the parkour temple. At first glance, the course didn't seem that difficult, but the problem is getting in to actually attempt the course. You see, parkour noobs need to earn 3 tickets if they want to try to rank up to become a parkour pro. I found this out when I was going around Parkour Civilization, and I saw a giant statue with a player wearing iron boots. When I got closer, I saw that there was a line of parkour noobs waiting to do a parkour course. I watched a player make the jumps in hopes of reaching the dispenser on the other side. However, I regret to inform the journal that she did not make it. The next parkour noob, however, did make the course and collected some item from the base of the statue. But after seeing the player just do 2 jumps to leave the course, I then wondered to myself why I can't just skip the entire thing and go to the dispenser. Unfortunately, I figured out you can't even get a ticket unless you actually make the course, which makes 0 sense to me considering it's just a dispenser. Minitech's theory is that parkour in this world has some sort of universal power. Just to expand on that, he's suggesting that this inanimate parkour course
Why is
somehow
Minute
knows
like
if
the
you complete
smart
the course
guy?
or not through parkour magic. Yeah, I'm not really
actually,
sold on
Minitech
that, but
told
whatever
me.
the reason, I still had to do the course. Hey, are you gonna go?
Bro, can you please be quiet? Becoming a parkour pro takes an incredible amount of focus, and I've been stuck on this course for years.
You've been stuck on this course for years? Well, it's just a bunch of 2-block jumps. Just make the first jump and do it over again.
I've never made the first jump.
There's no way you haven't made the first jump. Okay, maybe that is true. Maybe my perception of skill in parkour civilization is a little warped given that I trained so much to become a diamond sword, but if this is all it takes to become a parkour pro, being at the top of society in parkour civilization doesn't seem that impressive. Anyways, I completed the parkour course and I got an item.
I think one of my cats did something. Holy shit. That fucking scared me.
from the dispenser. It was my first ticket to become a parkour pro. However, if you want to actually attempt the course to rank up, you need 2 more tickets. So that is where the PvP Civilization squad is off to. Alright, I'll update you guys when we become parkour pros. Signing off, I watched as both Minutech and Foray easily completed the first parkour course to get their first tickets. The course for the second ticket, however, looked a little more challenging. While we were studying the course, however, I was looking around and I saw some giant building up at the parkour pro layer. What is this? Looks like a factory. Hey, you guys keep studying this course. I need to go check this out real quick. I made my way over until I was directly under this giant building and I looked up to see someone parkouring. Wait, is that a person? It kind of looks like a... Oh my... Okay, if I had a video journal update on me, I would have to make an update because I swear I just saw that cow do parkour. Is it ethical to be eating this after what I just witnessed? Probably not. Also, another fair question, do cows themselves jump for the beef if they can parkour? And if so, how exactly does that work? A lot of questions, not a lot of answers, but regardless, I think the parkour cow gave me the strength needed to complete the course for the second ticket. I made the final jump landing directly in front of the dispenser, and I was now only 1 ticket away from getting the chance to rank up to become a parkour pro. At this rate, all 3 of us are going to be parkour pros in no time.
Seaweed instead of paper
All right, well,
named
Minutech had to
ticket.
go back and get his first
Hello.
2 tickets again, while Foray and I
What?
were on the 3rd and final course to become parkour pros. All right, we are back with a video journal update. Yes, I did fail the last jump of the 3rd course, but I learned a valuable lesson about how to survive in parkour civilization. You see, it's all about consistency here. Your entire life in this civilization changes drastically if you fail 1 single jump, which is why you have to treat every jump like it's your last. And that is the outlook that helped me get all 3 tickets to rank up to become a parkour pro. So that's where we're off to, ranking up to the top level of parkour civilization. Unfortunately, this is the last video journal I'll ever make here. I have no way of breaking the video journal machine, and we only brought 1 backup. So, looks like I'm signing off for good. Goodbye, parkour civilization. I would have loved to at least get 1 journal update as a parkour pro.
Daily parkour check. Are you gonna try jumping for the beef again today?
Wait a second, these guys can break blocks, right? Look, I don't need the beef or the chicken. I just want to know if you can break this or not.
I could, if I'm given a fair price.
These guys have never been bribed by a diamond sword before. All right, say a number. How many PvP attacks you want? 10? 20?
I don't know what kind of parkour jump that is, but I'm interested.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. How is parkour even a currency? That doesn't make sense. Okay, just give me a second. This is my first parkour transaction. Is a 1 block jump good enough?
Are you kidding? A 1 block jump?
Oh, great.
I once heard a story of a parkour pro being paid with a 360. This is just insulting.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. What do you guys even gain from getting paid in parkour? And why is a 360 somehow worth more? Okay, what parkour jump do I even do to pay this guy? Foray, help me think of something to pay this guy with. I'm trying to get him to break my video journal, but they don't even know what PvP attacks are.
Break his video journal, or I will end your life.
No, Foray, no, don't do that.
Look, you guys don't know how to parkour battle yet, so threatening me isn't really gonna do anything.
Whoa, chill. The parkour pro kindly broke my video journal and gave it to me, which is awesome because now we get video journal
That is
updates
so
at
in
the top
character for
level of
Fairy.
parkour civilization. Thank you. Sorry about my friend. It was time to rank up to become a parkour pro and hopefully find a way back to PvP civilization. Time is running out because even though death doesn't exist for us here in parkour civilization, it definitely does for my family back home. And I'm not there to protect them, so that means we have to find a way no matter what. Foray and Minutech were waiting for me in the parkour temple, and we stared up at the parkour course that would allow us to get to the top level of society in parkour civilization. This was a time when we couldn't afford any mistakes. Sure, we can die and respawn, but that costs us a lot of time. And the longer we stay here, the higher chance of PvP civilization erupting into chaos. Fortunately, Foray went first and made the entire parkour course without any errors. That was kind of expected though, given that Foray is technically the best of us. But now it was time for Minutech to run the course. At one point, I thought it was all over when he missed a parkour jump, but luckily he landed back on the course, only suffering a little bit of fall damage. Soon after though, I watched Minutech make the final jump to become a parkour
why is
pro.
Minute
Both of my
washed?
friends ranked up to become parkour pros, and now it's just me. I threw my 3 tickets into the hopper and the wall opened up, giving way to the parkour course. All right, this is it. It's time to become a parkour pro. Making this doesn't just get me to the top of society, which will be very cool to see, but it could also save the lives of so many people in PvP civilization. I just have to be smart and take my time with each jump. There's nothing stopping me now other than just making these parkour jumps. That was what I thought until I made a parkour jump and I saw something move below me. I looked over the edge and saw a player with the trident chasing after me. And no, this is not just some random player. This is Prince Sam, the one person in PvP civilization who
Couldn't
actively
you
wants
tell
me
by
dead.
the yellow
Okay,
though?
nothing crazy. Just
I
after
feel like
PvP
you
and
don't
parkour
need gonna
at the same
try
time.
to
Luckily, I kind of have
identify
experience with
Prince
that.
Sam.
No, I failed a parkour jump and landed right in front of Prince Sam, and we both landed a hit on each other. I thought I knocked him far enough away for me to gain distance, but he caught up and knocked me down to a lower level of the parkour course. Thankfully, I managed to dodge falling into the void, but now I had a different problem. Prince Sam was higher up on the parkour course than me, meaning he had the advantage in this PvP battle. I climbed back up as fast as I could and immediately engaged in battle, but our next exchange sent us both flying off the edge. I landed on the ground with 3 hearts left, and Prince Sam was nowhere to be seen. This was my opening to try to get to the top and become a parkour pro. It wasn't gonna be easy though, because Prince Sam was still following me, and I only had 3 hearts left. Falling into the void in this universe makes you respawn, but what about fall damage or a PvP death? Not something I want to figure out. I made it to the top where I stood in front of the final jump of the parkour course. This is it. I either jump or I turn and fight. But before I could decide, an arrow came out of nowhere and knocked Prince Sam off the parkour course. Great, now there are bows in Parkour Civilization. Wait, maybe that's one of my friends. I didn't see who shot the arrow, and I wasn't gonna wait at the top of the parkour course in risk of getting shot off myself. So I went for the final jump, and I made it. I completed the course to become a parkour pro. Okay, that was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but I'm still alive, so that's all that counts. The cobblestone door at the top of the parkour temple opened up, giving way to a room that was made out of copper and bricks. Seems like if you rank up to become a parkour pro, the parkour temple gets nicer as well. I turned the corner to see a pit of lava as well as Minitech standing there with iron boots. Apparently this pit of lava was some sort of parkour ritual where I had to throw my leather boots away. Could be symbolic, or maybe a genuine design flaw of Parkour Civilization. I don't know. With my leather boots gone, one jump stood in the way of me becoming a parkour pro. And I did not fail this one. I jumped between 2 dispensers and I stood there with my new iron boots as a parkour pro. Let's go, we all made it. Big problem, Prince Sam is here as well as a bow, don't know who it is. So let's just get out of here before I die, okay? I walked up into the new room of the parkour temple to see statues with leather boots, iron boots, gold boots, and diamond boots. Of course, why would I assume there's only 2 levels to Parkour Civilization? I literally went through this exact same realization in my own civilization. Alright guys, well we are not at the top level, so we might as well get a move on. I'm guessing if we're only on level 2 out of 4, Parkour pros probably have 0 idea why we're even here. Okay. Hey, why is Foray staring at that statue for so long?
I believe he is wondering why this statue is of you.
What? I looked up at the statue of the player wearing the diamond boots, and I saw me. Why is there a statue of me in Parkour Civilization? But that's when I realized that this wasn't me. It was the Evbo from this universe.
I thought we agreed not to make an enemy out of Evbo here, but I guess not. Doesn't matter though, I've changed my mind. You can go after him all you want. As far as he knows, I'm the one who saved his life from you, and having both sides of his trust could be of use to us.
Okay, we are back and we have a lot to talk about. So let's start with the most obvious one. Yes, this is the official Parkour Civilization movie poster, and this is the official PvP Civilization movie poster, and yes, you can buy them right now, and yes, I'm gonna be hand signing every single one of them, and you can find them right in the description of this video journal. Okay, on to the second most obvious thing. Am I a parkour god? Not like me, but like me in this universe, me in Parkour Civilization. To be honest, I hadn't even considered the possibility that there would be an alternate version of myself. I know the concept of that sounds crazy, but, well, I only know one person with that headband, and it happens to be me. So anyways, now I have a newfound goal in life, and that is to interview myself on a video journal. Just think about how crazy that would be. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so let's calm it down. Becoming a parkour pro comes with luxuries as well as expectations. The first thing I noticed about the pro level of Parkour Civilization is that every single jump is now a 2-block jump instead of the normal one. I also confirmed that society continues up even higher. I'm guessing that's where the players with the gold boots live, and it definitely looks like it takes a lot to get there. I have a feeling this journey is not going to be easy, but it's okay because I think we're adapting pretty quickly. Foray and I managed to find a building on the Parkour Pro level that was selling houses. Now, after Foray threatened the shop owner for a little bit, we figured out that you don't have to hit a player across a parkour jump to buy something. You just have to make the jump yourself. Yeah, you remember how I said parkour currency makes 0 sense? Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how does a shop owner get any benefit from me doing parkour? Whether or not it makes sense, well, I did a 3-block jump and I bought myself a house. Yes, I know I traditionally have a shopping addiction, but firstly, that was the old me. And second, I paid for this with parkour and not PvP attacks. There's gotta be a difference. Anyways, point of the story, I was extremely impressed with Parkour Civilization real estate. I mean, this place was crazy. Good square footage, 3 stories, hard to complain. It was a little too parkour themed, especially with with the built-in parkour jumps and the poster. So naturally, I did what anyone else would have done in my spot, and I paid a parkour graphic designer to make me my own poster. 4 one-block jumps in a row, kind of a steal. Then I set up the video journal, of course, and well, now we're here. So here's what we're gonna set out to do. 1, find the other Evbo. I mean, that one's obviously a given. 2, get some food to heal up so I don't die by Prince Sam, who's probably already on this level now. And 3, rank up to get some gold boots. Alright, that's it for this one. Signing off. Just as I closed out of the video journal, I heard a strange noise come from outside. I made my way over towards the parkour temple, and sure enough, I saw a large group of parkour pros just standing looking at something. It looked like everyone was here. Even Minitech was here. Hey, what's going on? What is everyone staring at? But just up ahead, through the crowd, I saw what everyone was staring at. A player was making an announcement. Someone with golden boots.
I've gathered everyone here to deliver some disturbing news. The parkour champion has gone missing.
The parkour champion? What's a parkour champion?
We will be pausing any rank ups to prevent anyone from taking control of the command box.
Well, this is just great. Can't get any worse than this.
Furthermore, we've had parkour pros missing as well. We believe this is a situation linked to our missing prisoner. Therefore, if you see someone holding an item that you do not recognize, point them out immediately.
Okay, it did get worse. At least not that many people know me, right? Oh my... Okay, this is not good. Wait, bro, why are you staring at me? You have a sword too? Minitech and I both ran in different directions. I don't know what was gonna happen to us, but if these people think that we're responsible for the missing parkour champion, that can't be good. Just as I turned the corner though, I saw something strange. The guy with the golden boots looked at me and jumped across 2 brewing stands. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna keep going. I don't know what just happened to me. A second ago, I was in parkour civilization, and now I'm in a prison cell floating over lava. For a moment, I thought the same thing happened just as it did in PvP civilization. I thought I was just teleported to a different universe again. I mean, how else would I have gotten here? But that's when I looked over and I saw Minitech in a cell beside me. And then I looked around and saw all the parkour jumps. I am still in parkour civilization, but somehow I'm in parkour prison. Oh, this is not good. Hey, wait, excuse me? Can you let me out of here, please?
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. You hold an item that is unknown to parkour civilization. You're staying here until we find the champion.
Look, I don't even know what a parkour champion is. I don't know how to say this, but I'm not even from here, so I couldn't have done anything.
We know you're from somewhere that's not parkour civilization.
Whoa.
The parkour champion warned us about this right before he disappeared. He called it PvP.
Wait, so you guys have heard of PvP? The parkour pro directed my attention to a giant cell that stood in the middle of the prison. He said that not long ago, they had a prisoner in this cell, someone who held an item just like all of us from PvP civilization. According to the parkour pro, the player swung the item in his hand one time and took out one of the guards. And after that, they said the player just disappeared. Okay, I see what's going on here, and the situation is not good.
What do you think the player's
Someone that's
gonna be?
one of the weapons from PvP civilization has been here before, and whoever that was responsible for the disappearance of this so-called
What if it's
parkour
like
champion.
Tabby?
Which means, until the champion returns, anyone they see with a weapon from PvP civilization will be locked up in parkour prison. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do anymore. I don't know what I can do. I was supposed to find a way back to PvP civilization to save my family, but I failed. Now all I can do is just sit in my cell and do 1-block jumps, thinking about what that guard said. He said that the player trapped in that cell swung his item one time and took someone's life. That doesn't make sense. What weapon in PvP civilization can take someone's life in one PvP attack?
It's been 2 days since Evbo went missing.
Whoa!
Along with Foray and Minitech. I feel responsible for this. It was supposed to be my job to protect them, but I don't know what more I could have done. They just disappeared. And it's not just them too. The people I usually fight are gone as well. Something is happening to PvP civilization. I don't know what, but I can feel it. I know Evbo's alive somewhere. We just have to find him. Signing off. What? Wembu? What's going on? Who are those people?
I don't know, but they aren't holding any type of weapons,
Whoa,
so I
who's
think
that?
a better question is, how are they still alive?
I don't care who they are. They did something to Evbo, so that means nothing stops us until we find a way to bring him back.
Well, you know what they say. As long as you can parkour, there's always a way.
Where did that come from?
An animation? Jumper who? Okay. like a one episode thing? Is this like a whole series? What? No way. That was cool. I enjoyed the watch. That was beautiful. That was awesome. Chat. I don't know what to do. All my friends are at TwitchCon and Loki. I don't think me seeing. No, I don't stream on YouTube. Seeing things will make me feel sad. So, what do we do? You know what, chat? Fuck it. Let's just build an overstrike cannon. I'm gonna take my anger on spawn. That's it. I'm getting TNT of life still. I'm taking my fucking anger on spawn. This is how you know I'm at my lowest right now. Chat, by the way, I feel like after the general consensus of like everything you guys like saw in all the stories and everything that happened today, and even like when I was buying the fucking like ticket for this flight, I should have bought the one earlier, dude. You know what? I feel like this traumatized me to the point that every time I'm gonna buy a ticket one day earlier for everything. Like if all my friends are arriving on the 15, I'm gonna be arriving on the 14. This just gave me like fucking trouble. I don't think you guys understand. I have nightmares about missing flights months prior to my trips. It's like the only like nightmares that I have are missing flights. I'm not even like joking. Like I've had so many like nightmares about me arriving late or me missing a flight entirely and stuff like that. So many times. For it to finally happen, it generally really sucks. So I feel like Loki, this is a learning experience that next time I'm just gonna book a flight like a day prior. Just to make sure if like something gets delayed or something, I don't have to wait like 2 full days to get my next flight. You know what I mean? I don't know. At least I'm resting my foot. My foot's looking really nice right now, actually. At least I'm resting my foot. I've been investigating. Let me put music. I've been investigating, and Loki. I think what happened, chat. I've been investigating a lot in the hashtag web, and I don't think that the bite itself is infected. I think my tendons might be infected. Or around that area because of how close the cat bite was. And I googled it, and Loki, it's like a really like possible thing when you get bit in the fucking foot. But it's like because I have other bites. Here's the thing. I have other bites in my foot, and yeah, even if they're infected, they don't look like the ones that are like on that part of my foot. So I'll say the infection, it doesn't even look like badly infected, but of course it's a fucking wound in the foot. Like it's a fucking open wound. And you know, like there's a fucking hole. There's 3 fucking hole. It still gets my eye. I am on antibiotics. Don't worry about it. I feel like overall for what it is, the injury is looking good. But since it's kind of like on the fucking tendons and stuff, where like the whole area is really swollen, I feel maybe this was like a sign from destiny to just be basically knowing that if I was in San Diego, I'll be walking a lot and I'll be moving a lot and I'll be doing a lot of stuff. And maybe it was just like, you need to take a chill pill until Friday. or else because I don't think you guys understand how bad it is to be bit in the foot. I didn't know this either until I read that you barely like infections could get really bad to the point that, you know, chop chop chop, goodbye foot, goodbye forever. You know what I mean? Like my foot doesn't hurt as long as I have it like resting, or a bob, a bob. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, like right now I'm like chilling. Like it doesn't hurt. It's not swollen like it was earlier. I have not put ice on it because I'm scared of it getting like wet. Can I have some of your antibiotics for fun? Hello? Damn, I didn't know we were doing substance abuse. What the hell? Also, where's my phone? Yo, guys, can you guys call me so I can find my phone? Yeah, please. Oh, my room still smells like cat piss. You saw the Bacon Waffles video? Hey. Oh my god. I don't think I can say this, bro, but Bacon Waffle owes me a big one, bro. Actually, I do have shit to do on live still, because I lost my armor. I can't believe I'm only gonna see my friends for like 4 days, bro. I should be hashtag grabbing foot with clown pierce right now. Truly a tragedy of all time. Yeah, I know it's my tendons because I can. there's two fingers in my foot that I just can't not move. I'm just trying to distract myself. Yeah, also if you use like too many like there might be a chance that the thing that it kind of becomes immune to the antibiotics, so I don't even know, bro. Oh, I see my phone is in the ground. Ow, ow, ow. Can you guys tell that I enjoyed so much that I enjoyed so much at those videos? Wait, what the hell? Also, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, I dyed my hair and I low-key don't like it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, okay, so for context, oh my god. It's like blue. Can we see? I guess so. I dyed like a strand in front and a strand in the back. I low-key don't like my haircut at all. I feel like I always have this problem. Dude, okay, let me explain. Let's go to paint. Green or blue. I don't like how it looks, so I'm probably just gonna be wearing beanies and hats. I look really good with beanies and hats, but as of like without anything accessorizing my head, I don't think I look good at all. But it's okay. We ball. What is Saps doing? Maybe I can message Saps. Maybe we can do something with Saps. Saps, what you doing? Okay, let me grab my. Was this dye temporary? No, bro. Hello. Okay. Okay, chat, check this out. Let me make a favor for your eyes. Okay. So, the problem is that, when I get this sort of haircuts, no one really gets the right haircut. Because when they cut it like a way that it's like on layers, something like this, right? Let's put like, they grab like hair strands and they just cut it like this, right? Something like this, okay? Okay. So the problem is that since I have curly hair, there's like this thing that I hate, okay? So let me explain. I hate it, but I don't. It happens so many times that I don't do anything. This is me, okay? This is me. So for some fucking reason, every fucking hairstylist will leave like this side of like my hair, like super long, like super long, and this side also like super long. So what ends up happening is that my hair gets like a really like odd shape. I don't know how to describe it, but like when I try to cut my hair short, Loki, this thing should like not be that short because then my hair basically looks like this. Hold on, how do I? And not in like a good way. So I look like that kind of. Let me. And like I feel like I try to explain to hairdressers because I feel like this lady just cut everything like super short because this part here on top generally is like my hair ends up looking like this. Hold on, let me see if I can like. Generally it feels like I have like it generally feels like I have like a dead thing in my head because of how like my curly hair is. You're like my ears. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And I try to do like a little bit of bangs to kind of like wear it like this. And it generally just looks like I have a dead animal on it. It looks really good when I put a beanie on it. But yeah, the haircut is just like on the sides, on like this kind of like area. It's like super long. I don't even know why it's like super long. Like, yeah. Thank you. So it's just like generally really bad. It doesn't look good at all. Because my hair is too short. Like I have the curly type of hair that, you know, if it's long enough, like the curls will go like this. Or like if it's like a little bit longer, the curls will like go like this. But since it's kind of like short to a point, the curls won't even form. So it just genuinely looks like I have a bunch of hair on top of me that won't do like stuff like curl like this, you know, or like do like some like cool curls or something. So it just looks like kind of like half like it generally looks like if I just brush my curls. You know when you have like curly hair and you brush your curls? They don't even get like shape at the end. They just kind of like do this, bro. They don't even get like curls. So it's just like all my head just kind of like goes like this. Top layer long, yeah. I feel like it'll work better if I had the top layers longer. So it gets like really puffy. I genuinely look like an old lady. Puffy old lady short haircut. Let's see if I can find like an example. Dude, even the haircuts that I'm seeing here are like 10 times better. By the way, I thought I could like stream to distract myself. But okay. I've been feeling really, really sad. Like really, really sad. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep the stream going. TBH. I might just go back to bed and like watch a show or something. No, because here's the thing. Like I explained, if I cut it shorter, like I know that you say that, oh, if it's like too puffy or something on some parts, if I cut it shorter, it's just gonna go like this. Like the hair strands are gonna start like being like fully on like this. I would love if it was like, maybe if I could like iron it to not be like that puffy, that would be awesome. But yeah, no. I'm sure this type of like haircut will work for someone else, but I feel like the way that my hair is, because my hair is like naturally curly in some sort of way, it just generally makes it like, it makes me look like I didn't even have a haircut. But it looks good when I put a beanie on it. It looks good when I put like a cap. But yeah. As for it like by itself, it does not look good. I'm not a hairstylist though, but like yeah. And I've been told already, I look like a fucking lesbian, bro. I feel like, here's the thing. This is a crazy take. But for some reason, dyeing my hair with color made me look more feminine. I don't know what it was. It changed my face so much. I low-key liked them more when it was just like the bleach without color, you know, like with the yellow. I kind of like it more with natural colors. So I think if I ever re-dye my hair, I'm not gonna put like fantasy colors on it. I'm probably just gonna put like some like more natural, like earthy tones to it. Maybe like a calico hair or something like that. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had like dyed hair in a while. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna try it, you know. I'm gonna give it a shot again to see how I look like. Cause I haven't had dyed hair, and I kind of don't like how it looks on me. I think I'll look good with like dyed hair. I think maybe fantasy hair is not the color for me, cause I generally, I don't even look cool like those cool old kids. I generally just look like, I don't know. It doesn't look good on me, sadly. I feel like here's the thing, when I had dyed hair, I used to do my makeup. So I used to complement the colored hair with like colorful makeup so it would look like cool. But yeah, I feel like it just doesn't look, it makes me look more feminine, which is like something that I would like to avoid. But that's okay, you can always hide hair under the beanie, which just sucks because it was a little bit expensive, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a moment in time where I was just feeling like it. I don't think I'm feeling like streaming anymore. I just wanted to like come here and like talk to you guys and apologize. So I feel like even if I had an injured foot and even if it was like really hard for me to like pack stuff and everything missing the flight at the end of the day was still my fault. So, generally minutes, bro. If I arrived like 10 minutes earlier, I would have been that flight. Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, sometimes life's like that. It sucks, but, you know, you learn. It's not the end of the world. At least now I know from my experience. Yeah. Mhm. All right. I'll be taking a plane on Friday, and I'll be arriving after the first day of the con. I'm really sorry if I am missing Friday or the convention. I'm basically losing money, but at least I get to see my friends for like 4 days, which is such a short time too, because I literally booked this flight to make sure that I could spend the most time with my friends. But sometimes life's like that. There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll go watch the show or something. Or maybe I'll just like doom scroll until like my flight's here, or I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, thanks, Rec. I'll see you soon, even if it's for like 4 days. Bye, everyone. Have fun. Yeah, I'll make sure to rest my foot. That'll be nice. That's the only good thing that came out of this. Bye-bye.